Jasmine, hi Charlie.
Hi.
Hello.
Just waiting because I've got some more people I need to admit.
Whoops.
Hey Grace, how are you? Hi Alpha.
Hi, Susy.
We're just gonna wait a couple more minutes to get some more people to jump on and then we should be good to go. Did you guys come prepped with questions, objections? Charlie, Jasmine, Grace, Alpha, for those of you that don't know, today's coaching session is on overcoming objections. Anything that you're having issues with, it could be lead generating not working for you, calendaring not working for you, motivation, how to overcome buyer or seller objections, anything like that. Did you guys come equipped with questions?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We'll give it like just one more minute and then we'll get started. All right, I know Charlie, you had shook your head stating that you do have some, so that's wonderful. Let's start with you.
I think I'm having problem getting distracted by shiny objects and not being able to focus on what I really need to do. For instance, today, just working on social media posts and wanting to do it all myself instead of maybe outsourcing it, which I think would probably be a better use of my time. Instead, I'm trying to learn Canva and all this other stuff so I can do them myself. But I like doing that because I got an engineering background and I like to learn how stuff works, but I think it's not really my role these days.
Gotcha.
Not what I should be focusing on.
And you know what, Charlie, I'm so glad that you brought that up because you're absolutely right. If working on Canva to make posts to put on social media is cutting away from your lead generating, then that doesn't work. Here's the good news. The good news is you've got home warranty, lenders, and title that can all give you stuff. Like I'll give you an example, like even on lab coat agents, actually, let me grab this photo. I took a screenshot, it's interesting. I saw it on lab coat agents. I saw it with Nelson Torres, who's a title rep. And I'm trying to remember who else. There were like 3 different people that I saw on social media post the open market, iBuyer, and the cost of convenience. So, so you saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take a screenshot of that. Those are things you should be posting. Grace, I don't know if you're at work or not, but correct me if I'm wrong. I love Grace's social media posts because I get to see her family and all her wonderful vacations. But I also know that she posts stuff about about real estate. Like Connie is one of my coaching clients, and she does that as well. Now, granted, she's posting some of her own videos, but a lot of the information she's taking from title reps, lenders, and things like that. I also know that Command has stuff in there as well.
Yeah, I've used that.
But here's the thing, Charlie, you guys, all of you guys, who is not on Lab Coat Agents? Charlie, I know you are. Jasmine, are you?
No.
Okay. I am going to, in the chat, you guys should all go on Facebook. As a matter of fact, if you have your phone out right now, go on to Lab Coat Agents and ask to join. You just have to ask for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 simple questions. Okay. But that one and Command Your Conversion. You guys, you use lenders and you use title people. You know, for the newer agents, I mean, you're at some point going to use them and they want your business. So I would start partnering up with your vendors and let them know, you know, it could be Title Tip Tuesday. Like I love, Nelson always sends me a Title Tip Tuesday or something like that, right? So not every day should you be posting about real estate. You want to humanize yourself, right? So Charlie, if you have, you know, a significant other, kids, grandkids, pets, whatever, you need to be able to help people understand what your life looks like, not just in real estate. I am friends with a lot of agents that literally, I know that every day they're on a jog, they're on a just listed, just sold, in escrow, pending, you know, closed, coming soon, just listed, in escrow, pending, and it's the same property over and over and over again. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of boring. You know, I think that it's important to celebrate wins, right? But maybe just humanize it, personalize it more. And it is important, guys, to ensure that you guys are giving items of value. Like, Charlie, that iBuyer one that you saw, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you can just—
got my attention. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that should be. And who cares if you saw it a week ago? Who cares if 15 other agents posted it? I don't care about that. I'm looking for you to get people on your social media, your sphere. If you did a different job before, any of your coworkers, friends of friends, past clients, put all of them on your social media. And if you haven't done so already, I would try to remove as many agents as possible on your social media. If you guys haven't done that already, because the algorithms, the way they work is you guys aren't going to reach your sphere. You know what's really sad? Like I see, you know, how people, we talk about how people pay for ads, right? Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Charlie, if you pay for a Facebook ad and you've got like, I don't know, 200 agents on there, guess what? We're getting those ads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I know,
I
because
get a lot of agents looking at them.
I get them. You know why? Because I'm an agent and the algorithm understands and knows that on my search, on my Gmail, on my Anderson Reg, on my Keller Williams, that I'm searching for stuff related to, to real estate. So those ads are getting targeted to me. So guys, I know that we love to, see what other agents are doing, but let's be real. Sometimes it does give you kind of like not a good mindset, because you're like, oh my gosh, this new agent's already opened 3 deals and what am I doing wrong? And this sucks. And well, that person probably has all day to do it, and I got 5 kids and homeschooling and this and that. Then you get into this like horrible vicious cycle. So as much as I hate to say it, start getting rid of people. Now, if there are agents that, like I coach, right? So there are certain maybe agents that I may feel like, wow, I'd love to be able to impact them in a way, either through coaching or somehow that I keep on social media, but not all. So be very selective of who's on there. But Charlie, so to go back to your question, do not reinvent the wheel. I mean, you can talk, you can get with the lender, and one time it could be, did you know interest rates just went down, just went up, blah, 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 right? Anything with title that you can target sellers with, anything that you can target buyers with, even like local farmers markets, but those are the types of things that you can do. Definitely don't spend too much time. Let's see, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, don't spend too much time going on Canva and doing things like that. And you know what, guys, videos, like, don't let them be perfect. We're not perfect. We're humans, right? Sometimes we take like, I don't know, especially women, 30 photos to get one Instagram shot. Like, I mean, it's sad. It's time consuming, right? Like I just was literally in Tulum recently, and I'm looking at the water, enjoying, some of my friends are taking like candid snapshots of me, but literally we were there for my friend's daughter's 20th birthday. And her and her 2 friends, we were in this gorgeous place in Tulum, in a beautiful treehouse, like it just unbelievable. And these girls almost the entire day were just taking photos. I'm like, none of you guys have gotten in the water. You guys haven't gotten a coconut, put a straw in it and drank it. Like, you know what I mean? So it with photos, with, videos, anything like that, just, it can be as goofy as whatever, but as long as you're posting something.
I'll just add to that. So there's a website called Hootsuite that I use, and you can pre-schedule stuff. So I've got stuff pre-scheduled.
Grace, it's HOOTSUITE, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Hootsuite.
it's you can post up to 30 for free. So I've kind of got like my next few weeks already planned out. So I kind of like sit there twice every week or every 2 weeks and just already pre-plan all of my posts because I just don't have time.
Because Grace, my guess is, because guys, Grace has a full-time job. She's a mother, and Grace, you have 2, 3 kids that I can remember.
I have 2 kids at home. I work full-time and I study full-time. And then I've got this part-time.
So Grace has to be super, super regimented on her calendar, right? So my guess is Grace, either once a week or once every 2 weeks, is time blocked, whether it be an hour or what have you, to do all those posts. I know that Tristan Almada from Lab Coat Agents, he's really big on doing that. So Charlie, I think that's something that you can benefit from, but get the content from other people.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
Lead generate more. And if you're out looking at a house or something, or you're driving by, take a picture of a cool house. What do you think of the roof? Or what do you think of this garden? Whatever, right? Doesn't have to always be something like interest rates, iBuyer, things like that.
Thanks.
Absolutely. What else, guys? What else do you got?
Susy, just to tag along for that social media post, what's the rule with regards to, you said get it from another person, like, is there a rule for that with regards to reposting it in your own page?
No, you can take vendor stuff and post it. That's not a problem at all.
Okay. And for the vendors, do we have a list in our office that we should be like getting together?
We absolutely do.
Okay.
So where Rob Ross's office is, It's right next to that, in between Rob's office and the conference room.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Nelson Torres has good stuff. He's a great resource. I've come to find. There's Maxine Woodley. I'm sorry, Maxine Woodley.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to those people. And my suggestion is, when it comes to vendors, guys, is interview a few of them. You know, ask your teammates, who do you use for title? Who do you use for lending? Because we all have different personalities. Like Charlie was mentioning, like he's engineer minded. And so, and I'm very bullet point and like kind of like a skim through stuff, right? So, and I have a high sense of urgency. Charlie might have the same heightened sense of urgency I have, but may need someone to really spell everything out for them, right? And maybe I don't. So I think it's super important to interview people just so that you can have an idea of just their dynamic and personality type to see if it works for you and what they can bring for you to the table.
Okay.
Grace, do you have anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Have you run across any hiccups or anything in your lead generating or like any of your lead generating efforts? Like, have you guys, you know, come across a stumbling block?
The only stumbling block is not enough leads.
Okay, that's a good one. Not enough leads. Now, Grace, working full-time, going to school, having 2 kids, and having a spouse, right, may not have 3 hours a day to lead generate or 4 hours a day. But who works full-time? Charlie, do you work full-time for real estate? Okay, and Jasmine, what about you?
Yes, I will be working full-time starting Tuesday.
Okay, got it. And I know Alpha is. So guys, when you have a regular job, you typically work 8 hours a week, right? And that doesn't include drive time, and it doesn't include your 30-minute to 1 hour break, correct? That's typical. So you guys don't have to commute anywhere. You guys can stay at home. So that cuts the drive time, right? You can take your lunch at home, which is great, you know, or go out and take a walk. But you guys, if you want to make it in real estate, you need to treat this like a full-time job. If you don't have a full-time or a part-time job already, you know, you should be calendaring 8 hours a day, 5 days a week of what you're doing. Okay, lead generating, remember from our 36-12-3 series, should be a minimum of 3 hours a day. Okay, if you aren't getting enough contacts that lead to enough appointments, that lead to enough conversion, you need to be lead generating more than 3 hours a day. Now, guys, there is a thing called burnout. So my recommendation, just from the people I've coached, they'll be on the phone for an hour, take a 10 or 15-minute break, whether it is to go outside and get some sun, or just take a quick snack or a quick something, get back on for an hour. And they do that for the 3 hours. And, you know, oftentimes the people that I'm coaching, you know, they're in deals, so they're doing follow-up and what have you. But then they'll go again and schedule more lead gen towards the afternoon. So if you guys don't have a full 8-hour schedule for real estate, you should be writing one down. So let's talk about what that looks like. Someone tell me what their day looks like. I'll just call on you, Alpha or Jasmine, you got unmuted, go ahead.
Are you asking for my schedule, like the 8-hour schedule?
Yeah, Jasmine got off mute too, so
Okay.
any one of you guys. So like how many, okay, Alpha, I'll start with you. How many hours a day are you lead generating?
Well, the ideal, like you said, 3 hours. But as we've talked, I actually haven't been doing the lead generation. So,
Right.
um,
What
right.
about you, Jasmine?
Actually, I am studying to take the real estate exam test.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of seeing how, you guys are doing that lead generation, preparing myself for those steps. And actually because of you, me and Alpha have been taking time about an hour, maybe once or twice a week to even practice us scripting so that I can get used to it and she can get to that step for her to make those calls.
Perfect. I love it. Charlie, what about you? You're on mute. You're on mute.
So I've probably only been doing about an hour a day, not enough.
What distractions do you have at home, Charlie?
Tuesday and Thursday, I have to watch my grandkids.
Okay.
No, Monday and Wednesday, sorry. So that
And do
takes
they get
those days out.
homeschooled right now?
No, they're youngsters, so I have to watch them. My daughter can work.
Oh, they're like, so Monday and Wednesday, like if you keep your eye off them for 5 or 10 minutes, they may destroy your house for
Oh,
themselves.
yeah. They're 1 and 3. Yeah. So we're at the
Okay.
park or something.
And what time are you done with them? Typically?
We pick them up at 9 and we drop them off around 5.
Okay. So for you, because my guess is you have a significant other or spouse.
And she's working from home now.
Okay. So then your schedule may look like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday,
And Saturday.
and Saturday. And you can break up the lead generating, 4 to 6 is also a good time to lead generate because people, I've done this with a couple of my coaching clients, where they're working on expireds and some of them aren't, we've tried really early in the morning, obviously with the brand new ones, because you have to, but some of the older ones, they've had some luck with 4 to 6 and on Saturdays. So that could be something that you could do. And do all of you guys have like your big why? Like, do you guys really like know what is it that you're doing this for? And so then, Charlie, the distractions, right? When those distractions happen and you're not on course, it's if I don't take the action to do the lead generating, because the lead generating is 80% basically, or it's going to give you the 80% results, right?
Yeah.
So lead generating, your top 20% activities is going to yield you 80% of your income. So if you do nothing else, which, hear me out, guys, you should be lead generating, you should be understanding your market, and pre and post COVID, you should be checking out properties and learning, right? Whether you're in coaching, group coaching, going on like Tuesday title tip, anything that a lender puts out, anything like that, right? You should be putting that in your calendar as well. But lead generating would be your top priority. Anything else you guys got? I know Alpha has a business plan. Grace, I'm unsure. Do you have a business plan? Because I know that, Grace is a great example because she's got a lot going on. And I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself, Grace, and kind of give us an idea of your business plan.
So right now, I'm just focusing on my sphere of influence. I'm using social media. My husband also helps me out and talks to friends and kind of like promotes me. But I'm not actively looking outside of that right now. I should be finishing up school by summer, and then my plan is to really go full force by the end of the year.
Okay, and Grace, when you say active on social media, are you commenting on other people's posts and stories?
Yes,
engage
so
with
I'm
them?
constantly like liking some of my friends' posts and stuff like that because I know there's an algorithm. So for me to get on their algorithm, I comment on there, wish everybody happy birthday. I'm like trying to like do that, and I'm on a whole bunch of different groups on Facebook, and I try to comment in there as well. I haven't tackled Instagram yet. I'm trying to. I could do Facebook and kind of like pre-plan that with the Hootsuite and all that, but I'm trying to get into Instagram as well.
But you know what, Grace, if I'm an outsider looking in, right? If I'm not an agent, I mean, like me, I don't see all of Grace's posts and stories, but when I do, it's just, I'm so enamored by like her family dynamic. And like, I feel like if I was a buyer or a seller, that I would want to work with her because you know, family values or you can tell by her stories are a big thing, right? And she does post real estate related things, but I almost feel, you know, and Grace and I, it's funny because we met for the first time in person, I think like 2 weeks ago, you know, and she'd been at La Mirada for a bit and we've talked and, you know, coached and things like that. But I feel like by looking at her social media that I kind of like that I know her, you know what I mean? And that's something that will really go far with people. But the biggest thing is, you guys, what Grace said is true. She knows there's an algorithm. There is. If you have more agents on there, then because everybody, title reps, lenders, NHD. I have title reps, NHD people, and lenders trying to friend request me from like the South Bay, from Orange County. Like, guys, if you've not ever met them face to face or don't know them personally, I'm not trying to be mean, but you need to get them out of your social media so that you can actually start reaching the people that you need to reach, which is your sphere, your past clients. You know, think about like, I don't know, your dentist. Who do you like? There's a couple of people at Gelson's. Barbara's one of them that I absolutely love that we talk to all the time when I'm at Gelson's. So she's on my friends, right? People that you meet along the way, those are the people, you know, it could be like a tax attorney, it could be anything, right? Those are the people that should be on your social media. Get rid of everyone else. And you should make it a point. Take 30 minutes, 15, for Christ, 15, right? You took 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I bet you can comment and like at least 10 people a day. Go for 30 and see what happens. As you start commenting and engaging with people on social media, the algorithm is going to detect that you are in constant communication with them. Now they're going to show up on your feed and vice versa. And that's what you want.
But the other thing I suggest you do is go through your friends list, not what you see on your newsfeed, because the algorithm, I only see at least 20 of my same friends over and over again because I've liked them. Now I've got to change my own algorithm and go through my other friends that I haven't seen. Like, what have they been doing in the last 6 months? Because I don't see their posts.
Yep. Grace, that's a great point. Don't go, again, like Grace said, you're only seeing maybe about 20 people. I think I've gotten to a point where I see more lab coat agents, command your conversion, and bold pivot, bold shift. Like, I see all of that more than anything else, right? I still have to take the time and delete all those, but go to your actual friends list, like Grace said. And I would calendar, even if it's, you guys, right now, if you're not working full-time like Grace, you can calendar 30 minutes a day, 4 to 5 days a week. And you can start cleaning up your stuff. How do you eat an oversized elephant, right? One bite at a time. Take 30 minutes. If you do 30 minutes a day, it doesn't matter how many you go through. You could go through 5, you can go through 20. Just do it every day for 30 minutes, 4 or 5 days a week, whatever your schedule permits. And do that and watch what happens. That's one of the other things is people get so overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I have this big task. Well, yeah, it's a big task, but if you chunk it down to a daily and give it a time slot, some of you Grace may only have 15 minutes, but 15 minutes, she can still accomplish some stuff, right? For those of you that are doing real estate full time and aren't in any deals, you should have 30 minutes to an hour daily and do that. Okay, so I know Alpha and Jasmine haven't dealt with any clients. Charlie, are you in production right now?
Not right now.
Okay, so who are you targeting right now? Like when you guys say I'm targeting my sphere, like, are you guys using the Ford method and then that's it? So like, hey, Charlie, how's Charlie, what's your spouse's name?
Renee.
Hey, Charlie, how are you and Renee doing? Family, occupation, you go through that, right? Recreation, dreams. If Charlie says to me, oh yeah, Renee's doing all right, but working from home and it's getting crazy or whatever, right? Could you make a conversation where, yeah, I know, you know what, a lot of people have lost their jobs. Like I'm helping a lot of people with forbearances, right? Or with refinancing. Like, could you have that conversation and then say, Charlie, do you by chance know of anybody that may be in some need where they've either lost their job or, have gotten down to part-time or lost some income where I may be able to help them out? I have a lot, I have a lot of resources. Like, I feel like we're doing Ford, right? We're talking about the family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, but we're not interjecting the real estate part of it. Right. Like right now, I had earlier today, I posted up the group coaching in my Instagram stories, and one of my old coworkers who knew I was in real estate says, "What do you do?" And I'm just like, wait, are you kidding me? Like in my brain, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I worked with this gal. She worked for me for like 10 years. And we've known each other, gosh, I'm 50, probably like 20, 22 years I've known her. She literally this morning messaged me, what do you do? They forget. They don't remember. She could have told me 2 years ago she switched jobs and I would probably still think she works at Robbins Brothers. Right? So when you're engaging the way Grace is, like, I'm like, girl, I'm in real estate and I coach. And she's like, really? And then we started a conversation. So now I have a potential client in coaching. But now I'm going to take that further and continue that with her, right? And then talk to her about real estate and talk to her about the market and find out who she knows that can benefit from what I have to offer. Why are we afraid to ask for business or to come from, really, if you think about coming from contribution versus asking for business. Think about it, Charlie, if you knew someone that owned a home and you're like, hey, by the way, Susie, what interest, I'm not trying to pry, but interest rates right now are at blah, blah, blah. Are you below 3% at all or are you above 3%? Could you start a conversation like that and say, oh my gosh, what if you help someone save? My neighbor behind me, oh my gosh, he saved $600 a month. I didn't help him refi, but I'd still use that story. My neighbor just saved $600 a month refinancing. Jasmine, what could you do with $600 a month? I know I could do a lot. Do you know of anyone that may be able to benefit from refinancing and saving some money? What else? What are obstacles that you're running into with lead generating? You know, Grace said something interesting. Her husband helps her too. Her husband talks about her. My wife's in real estate, blah, 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 right? Do we have our friends and family and spouses, significant others doing that for us?
Yeah, I do.
If you don't, that's okay, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So start. Alpha, do your friends and family tell people you're in real estate? Or have you given them some verbiage as to what they can say about you?
No, I haven't, but I told them that I am, and if they know anybody, to send them my way.
Okay, so that's wonderful. Let's go with that. And Alpha, I don't mean to pick on you, okay?
That's fine.
Okay, because Alpha, and you know why I say this is because I'm telling you 9 times out of 10, that's what all of us new agents say, because that's what we're told to say.
Yeah.
So Alpha, maybe you've never owned a home, or you're a homeowner, but you bought it, I don't know, 5-10 years ago. And I'm like, hey, Alpha, I'm in real estate. If you know of anyone, send them my way. What would you interpret by that?
Nothing much, really.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that you said that. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Right? And Alpha, I'm so glad that we're having this conversation, because the brutal reality is that's what we say, because we don't know what we don't know. And somewhere along the line, someone told us to say that.
Yeah.
So you've never sold anything. You know what? When I go on interviews for listings, I haven't sold anything. So how long have you been in real estate? Oh my gosh, I've been in sales for over 20 years. I've helped negotiate and close a lot of deals. Alpha, Jasmine, Charlie, you could say, and Grace has some under her belt. Yeah, I'm in real estate. I work for a brokerage, and for a brokerage called Keller Williams, or I work for Keller Williams Realty. And we have helped an insane amount of people buy homes, sell homes, refinance, get their homes, up to par, whatever, like get their homes fixed up. If you know of anybody that can use any of those services, please send them my way. And then you pause and say, by the way, Jasmine, do you know of anybody? I have so many resources. Like, you guys, you can use someone else's story. I literally just helped one of my friends, she had a pool issue, and one of our pool guys helped her with her swimming pool. Or yeah, one of my handyman just went out and helped one of my friends, repaint one of her bedrooms. It could be something as simple as that. But you have to make it to where they understand that what you do, right? Our brokerage has helped so many people buy and sell real estate, as well as refinanced, help them save hundreds of dollars on financing. I've got a plethora of resources that can help you with anything, including any handyman work, contract work. Do you know of anybody that can use any of those services? You're telling them that you have resources. You're not saying you're the one that can do that, right? So you are, in a sense, coming from contribution. You're not trying to sell them on you. You're just trying to sell them on the fact that you have resources. So Alpha, now what would you tell your sphere? Charlie, Jasmine, tell me what you would tell your sphere now, or people, that will talk on your behalf.
I guess I would say, I would maybe talk to my dad or something. I know that if down the line he does want to sell his house, but I'm coming from Ohio, so I got most of my friends are there,
Mm-hmm.
opposed to California. But I could definitely tell him I I have connections through Keller, in Ohio. Maybe I can refer you if you plan on selling your house or whatnot, or if you know anyone who's refinancing or needs services like that, then I have a lot of resources that can help in that area with through real estate.
What about if you said this? My brokerage is in communication with the top agents in Ohio. I would absolutely love to be your resource for any needs. If you know of someone that needs to buy, sell, refinance, even someone that needs some work done to their home or has any questions regarding title or anything, I'd love to be that resource for you. Who do you know that can use my services?
Yeah.
So remember, our brokerage is in communication with the top agents in Ohio.
Okay.
You ain't lying, because all you got to do is ask one of us, hey, who's the top agent in Ohio? We can look that stuff up, right? We are in communication. We're constantly on Zoom calls. We just did family reunion. So, and then get yourself a referral fee, right?
Yeah.
And when you have a friend or like someone in the brokerage, like on Spring Street or on Firestone, that has Everardo is so good at this. I coach Everardo. He's a newer agent, and he closed his first 2 deals and then went into my coaching program. And I started coaching. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to ask Everardo if he just like got a new listing, because I would see on there, coming soon or for sale, 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Downey. DM me if you want to take a look at this home or something. I'm like, dude, Everardo, did you just get a listing that I didn't know about? And then it's like, oh my God, it's somebody else's listing at the brokerage that he just happened to say, hey, do you mind if I advertise your listing on my page? Right? And he's not saying like it's my listing, right? You got to be careful of that, This beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath Spanish style in North Long Beach is on the market for $500,000. Who do you know that's interested in looking at this property? There's no one out there maybe that's looking, but it looks like you're selling stuff, right? And then you integrate that with whatever you do personally, Charlie, like even if you had a picture of your grandkids running around in the park, or, hashtag realtor life, office at the playground, right? Recently, like I told you guys, I was in Tulum and we were in this gorgeous treehouse, and I look over and 2 of my friends, my lender friend and my realtor friend, are sitting on this beanbag with their laptops out. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Well, we're trying to get a buyer pre-approved so that we can go and have them go look at stuff, right? So what did they do? They had us take a picture and they were able to post that, office for the day. Right? And then you get people like asking you, well, what do you do? And then you can start engaging with people. Anyone lose a buyer or seller to someone else? I know that you guys are fairly newer agents, but I want to throw it out there to see if we can take a scenario that we can help you guys overcome.
I wouldn't say I lost somebody, but I guess I wasn't constantly reminding my friends. And then I did have a friend where they just happened to go to an open house and ended up just using that realtor. It didn't cross their mind to think, oh, I have a friend. It was just spare of the moment. They just went with that realtor.
And Grace, how long ago was this?
Oh, this was about a year ago. This was before COVID, when open houses were going on.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that like remember Grace's friend, it just escaped her mind, right? You guys, we get inundated with so much information on the daily. If you guys looked at your phone, there's an area in your phone that says how much screen time. You would be mortified at how much time you spend on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And your mind is constantly being thrown things like radio advertisement, commercials, social media, you know, just billboards, everything, right? There's no way that you're going to stay top of mind as a realtor to people. I told you my friend that I worked with for over 10 years is like, wait, what do you do again? I worked with her in a different industry, but she knows I went into real estate. I left an industry that I was in for 26 years to get into real estate. That's like the only other thing I've done. And she's like, what do you do? Like Grace's friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
I promise you guys, if you start engaging with your sphere, you're going to see. I had someone that worked with me at Robbins Brothers who he literally cared for me so much. Like I don't know, it was a National Boss Day or something. And he wrote a post about me. And this was after we had stopped working together. Like the best boss I ever had was Susy Cabrera. And these are the reasons why. He bought a house and he didn't use me because he didn't know I was in real estate. We all make that mistake, guys. We have to stay top of mind. Don't post everything real estate related. Integrate other things. But it's super important to stay connected with your sphere. And if you've got, I had like over 2,000 friends on Facebook. Guys, I don't know 2,000 people. But it was friends of friends and this and that. And yeah, of course, no one in my sphere knows what I'm doing. They're not seeing any of my posts. What else you guys got? Say.
My area, you know, where I live is more the high-priced homes, and I'm intimidated about working that area. And you know, there's a lot of high-powered agents, or a few high-powered agents already in that area, and you probably know some of them.
Charlie, where do you live?
In Alamitos Heights.
Okay.
And you know the agents probably if you're in the shore. So
who are they there? Alamitos Heights.
Yeah, you know where that is. North of Colorado.
I'm like, it's behind me.
It's behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you
north of
talking
the
about
lagoon.
like Sula Bounty, Spencer Snyder?
Yeah, not Spencer so much. He's probably more in the Naples area, but
Yeah.
Sue's up there a little. I don't know. There's some, I forget it. Jack. No, Jack. What's Jack? Jack and his wife, Barbara. So I'm just a little intimidated because they've been there so long and have, you know, such a name recognition there. So I'm trying to break in there. I signed up to join the Alamitos Heights Neighborhood Association and that kind of stuff. But without being able to door knock these days, it's just hard to get face to face with people, and they're not holding their meetings. And any recommendations?
Yes, guys. Have you guys heard of the Nextdoor app?
Oh yeah, I'm on that too.
Okay, you should probably once a day get on it and start looking at if people are asking questions on, do you know of a painter? Do you know this or that?
Oh, I did that yesterday. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Be that resource when you're constantly asking the question, and build out your profile so that they know you're an agent. And then every now and then you can post stuff like, hey, just wanted to give this information out there to you guys for those of you that can use it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can do that iBuyer thing, right? Or anything.
Okay.
But start engaging with them. And let me ask you guys a question. What does it take to sell a house? What do you do when you sell a house?
Market.
Marketing.
You market it? The photos?
Yep. Videos.
Okay, if you had a listing, would you take your iPhone and shoot the pictures yourself, or would you hire a professional photographer?
Hire professional.
You would hire a professional photographer, right? Okay. You would do the marketing. We have a great marketing on command. You'd put it on the MLS. You could circle prospect, cold call. Do you think that Sula Bounty is circle prospecting, Charlie?
Probably. No.
Sula Bounty half the time doesn't even communicate with her own clients. It's not a dig. I only know this because one of my friends was on the buy side to one of her listings.
Okay.
Right? So some of those big agents will go and interview for the job and then have their 3 to 10 different assistants do all the work, right? For me, I'm on a team. So I've got a listing coordinator, a marketing director, photography, staging, all of that, but the client stays in constant communication with me, right? But you have all the tools that they have to sell a home.
Mm-hmm.
You live in that neighborhood. You could afford to live there. And you know the neighborhood. So
Yeah.
what can she do that you can't? Can she find a different buyer than you?
No, I guess not.
Because you can post on Spring Street to how many different agents?
Yeah, 600 and something.
Before
Yeah.
some, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny because like I have a friend, she lives in Torrance, and last year she made about $375,000, which it's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I get a call from her and I had no idea, right? I get a call from her. She's like, Susie, I just decided that I'm going to go after $1 million listings. Mind you, she works in the South Bay. And I'm like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, before I was afraid to, sell $1 million homes. And I'm like, but you're selling like $708,000 homes and there's no difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what in your brain, like what in our brain gives us that barrier? It's the same thing. You have to prep the home. You have to have professional photography. You have to market it right. It all syndicates. You've got a plethora of resources in Spring Street and everyone else. So they may have a different network, but guess what? Regardless of what network they have, if it's out there on the internet and someone is looking for that type of a home, you're going to get a buyer from it. Are you still scared?
A little.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I get it. So now you just have to ask yourself,
How am I going to meet these people, right? How am I going to market to them?
so
I like the idea about next door and stuff. I can do
next
that.
door, get with your title rep,
Mm-hmm.
get a farm in that neighborhood of people that might already have their kids out of the house, right? Or that have lived there. The turn ratio could be like what, 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
Let's just say an example in Alamitos Heights, people live there for about 10 to 12 years and then they move. So get a list of that. Get a list of renters. You'll have their email addresses. Now you can start sending like the iBuyer thing, right? Or interest rates, anything like that that you can get from a lender that you can email to those people, right? And then try to start communicating with them on Nextdoor. And then maybe you get one communication with them and then you can add them as your friend on Facebook. It all starts like that.
Great idea. Okay. I got to get out and start walking the neighborhood in the mornings, I think.
So Jeff and Tori from the Anderson Real Estate Group, they live in Park Estates and they have 2 kids. They walk around the neighborhood and people walk there all the time and they meet people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just talk about real estate. So this is one thing. If you're going to walk around your neighborhood, get on your MLS and find out average home price, average days on market. Put yourself on the auto email drip of anything that's sold, anything that comes pending, anything that comes coming soon or active, so that you can keep yourself updated on the market. I made the mistake of not doing that. And guess what? We had a house that sold for 1.7 on my street. My neighbor was like, Susie, how much did that house sell for? I didn't know. Because it totally escaped me to look. And I should have, because I knew they were all going to ask me, because I'm their resource and I didn't know. And that's embarrassing. So now I'm like looking it up, you know, and I tell them, but so keep that in mind. And it's okay if you don't know. I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot. I'll tell you right now, right? And then you can do it. But if you're going to be walking around the neighborhood, know that stuff. All right, let's get some ahas. Alpha, we'll start with you. What ahas did you get from the coaching today?
Definitely talk to your personal sphere, to use a different approach, and to use the resources available to you, like you said, your lenders, your title rep, and all that.
Okay. Jasmine or Grace?
I definitely joined those groups that you posted, Lab Cope Agents and Command Your Conversion, and I just got into Nextdoor. I think it's important, like you said, to look, to see what's been sold in your area and things like that, to keep yourself well informed.
Awesome.
Like Jasmine, I've just requested to join those two groups. So that's going to be a lot of other data that I can also like post up on myself, because the other one that I follow is Keeping Current Matters on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of good stats that you can just repost on your stories. And I've noticed that a lot of times people see that and they're like, oh, okay. And you just have to put your little comment on there, which is good.
Mhm.
Hey guys, that's a good one. Keeping Current Matters. Let me ask you guys this. Oftentimes do you guys see like a motivational quote that inspires you and you repost it?
Mhm.
You can do that with other stuff. Yeah, Grace, you'll get a lot of good stuff on Lab Coat for posting, and on Command Your Conversion, anytime that you get stuck on anything command, you could literally type on there, I'm having issues with blah, blah, blah. Can someone help? And everybody will start like giving you solutions.
Mhm.
Charlie, what about you?
I have to lay out my schedule for the daily work, and especially focus on the lead gen and get off the engineering stuff. I'm not a graphic designer anyway.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Use what everyone else has put out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interview some vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about co-branding.
I'll do that. Thank you.
All right. All right, guys, we're done. Thanks for joining. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.